Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. You know we love to tackle some pretty complex financial topics on this show, but today we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, a bit of a different approach.
We're going really deep on something so fundamental to your financial well-being,
It really is foundational to everything.
and that is your money mindset. We're not looking at stock tips or the latest budgeting app.
No.
We are diving straight into your financial psyche with a concept called money scripts.
These money scripts, they're basically these unconscious beliefs about money. You've developed them over time, through your childhood, through your family experiences, through your cultural background.
So it's not like we're born with these things.
Not at all.
It's all about our experiences.
That's right. And the thing about these scripts is that they influence every single financial decision we make.
Okay.
From, how we feel about spending, to how we approach saving, to how comfortable we are with investing. It's all tied into these often hidden beliefs about money.
So they really do run the show kind of behind the scenes.
They really do. But here's the good news. These money scripts are not set in stone.
Okay, so there's hope.
There's absolutely hope. By understanding and reshaping these beliefs, we can build a much healthier and more secure financial future.
And that is exactly what we're going to do in this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We're going to help you understand the power of these money scripts, how to identify them, and then most importantly, how to start rewriting those that are holding you back.
Great.
So let's start with the basics. How do we even begin to recognize these money scripts that are kind of lurking beneath the surface?
Well, the first step is really self-awareness. We need to shine a light on those unconscious beliefs and bring them into the conscious mind. And a good way to start is to think back to your earliest memories about money.
Okay, so going way back.
Way back. What were those first encounters like? How did your family handle money? Was it a source of stress, or was it something that was talked about openly?
I imagine the emotions tied to those memories are pretty telling too.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you pick up on feelings of anxiety around money, or maybe scarcity? Was there a sense of abundance, maybe even guilt?
It's almost like we need to become financial archaeologists.
That's a great way to put it. We're digging deep into our past to uncover these hidden artifacts. And a really useful tool for this is journaling. Just take some time to reflect on those early experiences and write down whatever comes to mind.
Just get it all out there.
Exactly. And as you do this, you'll likely start to see some patterns emerge, some recurring themes in your relationship with money.
And speaking of themes, the research on money scripts has actually identified 4 common categories.
That's right. And these categories can be really helpful in understanding the different ways that our beliefs about money might be playing out in our lives.
Okay, let's hear them.
The first category is money avoidance.
Money avoidance.
This is where people tend to believe that money is bad or evil, or that they're somehow unworthy of having it.
That's interesting. So they almost push money away.
Yeah, they might sabotage their financial success or feel uncomfortable even dealing with money at all.
That makes sense. What's the next one?
The second category is kind of the opposite. It's called money worship.
Money worship.
And this is where people believe that more money will solve all of their problems and bring them happiness. They're constantly striving for wealth, often at the expense of other things in their lives.
Like relationships or their well-being.
Exactly. And studies have actually shown that beyond a certain point, more money doesn't necessarily lead to more happiness.
Right. It's not the magic solution people think it is.
Not at all. The third category is money status. This is where people equate their self-worth with their net worth. They might spend excessively on status symbols or feel inadequate if they're not keeping up with the Joneses.
It's all about appearances.
Exactly. And then the final category is money vigilance. Now, this one might sound positive at first because it involves being careful and responsible with money.
Yeah, that seems like a good thing.
It is to a certain extent. But in its extreme form, money vigilance can lead to excessive worry, a fear of spending, even when it's justified.
So it's almost like being too careful.
Right. It's about finding that balance between being responsible and letting anxiety take over.
Okay, so I've got 4 main categories: money avoidance, money worship, money status, and money vigilance. These are starting to paint a picture of how these different beliefs can show up.
Absolutely. And, it's worth mentioning that there's a tool called the Klontz Money Script Inventory, or KMSI.
Okay.
It's a more formal assessment that can help you pinpoint your specific money scripts.
Okay, so let's say we've gone through this process of self-reflection, and we've started to identify some of our money scripts. Now what?
Well, now it's time to challenge the ones that are holding us back. We need to ask ourselves, are these beliefs really serving us? Are they helping us to achieve our goals and live the kind of life we want?
It's like putting those beliefs on trial.
Exactly. And if the answer is no, then it's time to start dismantling them. Let's take an example. Say you resonate with the belief that money is the root of all evil.
Okay, a classic one.
Right. If you truly believe that, then you might subconsciously avoid accumulating wealth, even if you consciously want financial security.
It creates this inner conflict.
Exactly. So the first step is to question the validity of that belief. Is money itself really evil, or is it the way that some people choose to use it that can be harmful?
Right, it's a tool. It depends on how you use it.
Exactly. And then try to find some counterexamples. Think about people who use their wealth for good, for philanthropy or to create positive change in the world.
So we're looking for evidence that contradicts that old belief.
That's right. And once we start to poke holes in it, we can begin to reframe it.
Okay, so how do we reframe a negative money script?
It's all about consciously choosing to replace those negative thoughts with more positive and empowering ones. So instead of money is the root of all evil, you might say money is a powerful tool that I can use for good in my life and in the world.
It's like rewriting the script in our minds.
Exactly. Or if you have the belief that I don't deserve money, you could reframe it to I deserve financial security and abundance so that I can live a fulfilling life.
It's about shifting our perspective.
That's right. And it does take consistent effort. But over time, those new empowering beliefs will start to take root.
Okay, so we're identifying our money scripts, we're challenging the negative ones, and we're reframing them. What's next in this process of reshaping our relationship with money?
Well, now it's time to align our money scripts with our values and our long-term goals. We need to ask ourselves, what does financial success really mean to me?
It's about getting clear on our why.
Exactly. Is it about freedom? Is it about security? Is it about giving back? Once we know what truly matters to us, it becomes so much easier to make financial decisions that support those values.
Okay, so how do we make that connection between our values and our money scripts?
Well, one way is to set financial goals that are directly aligned with those values. For example, if generosity is important to you, you might set a goal to donate a certain percentage of your income to charity.
So our financial goals become an expression of our values.
Precisely. And another powerful technique is visualization. Spend some time imagining the life you want to create. How will financial security help you to live in alignment with your values?
So we're painting a picture of our ideal future and seeing how money fits into that picture.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of affirmations. Create positive statements that reflect the money scripts you want to embody, like I am in control of my finances, or money is a tool that empowers me to live my values.
So we're speaking those new beliefs into existence.
That's right. By repeating those affirmations regularly, we're reinforcing those positive thoughts and weakening the hold of the negative ones.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We're becoming aware of our money scripts, we're challenging the ones that don't serve us, and we're aligning our beliefs with our values. But how do we actually make these changes stick? How do we turn these new beliefs into lasting habits?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And the answer is consistent action. It's not enough to just think differently about money. We need to act differently, too.
So what are some practical strategies we can use to build those new habits?
Well, one strategy that I really like is what's called a money date.
A money date, okay.
It's basically scheduling regular time to check in with your finances, maybe 30 minutes once a week, review your budget, track your spending, make any necessary adjustments.
This is like a regular checkup for our finances.
Exactly. And the key is to approach it with a positive mindset. It's not about punishment. It's about empowerment.
I like that. What else?
Another powerful tool is automation. Set up automatic transfers for your savings and investments so that you're consistently working towards your goals without having to think about it.
Taking the decision-making out of the equation.
Exactly. And accountability is also crucial. Share your goals with a trusted friend or mentor who can provide support and encouragement.
So we're not doing this alone.
Absolutely not. And finally, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Every step you take towards a healthier relationship with money is a victory.
So acknowledging those wins.
Exactly. Give yourself credit for the effort you're putting in.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, it's important to acknowledge that rewriting our money scripts is not a quick fix. It takes time and effort and patience.
It really does. These beliefs have been ingrained over years, maybe even decades, so it's okay if it takes time to shift them.
And we need to be kind to ourselves along the way.
Absolutely. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns or feel discouraged. But that's normal. It's part of the process.
So self-compassion is key.
Exactly. Just keep reminding yourself that every positive action you take is a step in the right direction.
So to summarize this deep dive into money scripts, we've learned how to identify these unconscious beliefs, challenge the ones that don't serve us, and align our financial decisions with our values.
And we've discussed some practical strategies for building new habits and staying motivated along the way.
The key takeaway here is that by understanding and reshaping our money scripts, we can create a more secure, fulfilling, and empowered financial future.
It's about taking control of our finances instead of letting them control us.
And that's something that's within everyone's reach. Now, as you go about your week, we want you to think about one limiting belief about money that stood out to you during this deep dive, and then consider one small action you can take to challenge that belief.
It could be as simple as reframing a negative thought or setting up an automatic savings transfer. Every little step counts.
Remember, rewriting your money story is an ongoing journey. But with awareness, effort, and a little bit of patience, you can create a financial life that truly reflects your values and supports your dreams.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.